Peace and blessings. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Bossy. Today I'm coming to you live from the river. Yes, the Mississippi River. You can see it behind me. There is a beautiful patch of land that is on the other side of Audubon Zoo where you can come and sit in the evenings, and the sun sets right over here. So if you ever are in town and you want to enjoy a beautiful sunset with someone that you love, this would be a really nice place to do that. So I want to talk really quickly about consistency, because people will often ask me how they can be more consistent. And what I will say to that question is, find something that you want to do. Because when you find something that you want to do, doing it repeatedly, doing it over and over won't be an issue, because you'll actually want to do it. The next thing I would say is make sure you're doing it for sustainable reasons. If you're doing it to prove something to someone, or you're doing it because you feel like it's your duty to save the world, or you're doing it to take care of yourself, all the children, and your husband, and all y'all pets, and the neighborhood, and all your relatives, burnout seems likely. You're doing all of this work and probably getting very little support, very little help, and very little rest. Why would you want to continue doing all that? So my first thing is, we got to make sure we're doing stuff that we actually want to do. We have to make sure that we're doing work that actually fulfills us. Our work should sustain us emotionally, spiritually. It should feed us. It should contribute to our overall sense of well-being. Work that is draining us just so we can earn money that is then drained, that sounds like the perfect storm to end up in a really unfulfilled place in our lives. So am I even doing things that I want to do? And am I working and doing this work in a way that honors myself? I think that you should absolutely be fed by the work that you do, even as you serve other people, even as you pour into them, even as you show up for them. It should still serve you and support you and make you feel good about yourself, your life, your choices. Okay? The third thing that I would recommend for people who want to be more consistent is to make it enjoyable. Make the work enjoyable. Of course, if it's work that feeds you on a soul level, and it's work that it's something that you actually want to be doing. It's not even just work. It's also our creative projects. If it's something that I really want to be doing, I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to see this thing unfold. If it's work like that, then it should already be pretty enjoyable. I think surrounding ourselves with people and with things that make our environment pleasant and delightful, I think that is a must. Creating an environment that is comfortable to you and being in a space where you feel not only connected to yourself but connected to the work. I think that these are really important, really valuable choices. And I think that creating a space that is comfortable for you will go a very, very long way. Additionally, I think that creating rituals around the work. So if you have the ritual, like where before I sit down to write, I make myself a pot of tea, or before I sit down to write, I put on this specific music, I set the lighting in a specific way, I put on specific clothing, a specific perfume maybe, and I take a shower, I put on some cozy clothes, and I put myself into that place. Well, all of the things that you do for ritual are preparing you to sit down and get into the groove and to do that work. And what James Baldwin says was right, like right, period. That's the sentence, right. Find a way to keep alive and write. There is nothing else to say. If you are going to be a writer, there is nothing I can say to stop you. If you're not going to be a writer, nothing I can say will help you. What you really need at the beginning is somebody to let you know that the effort is real. Okay? I like what he says about if you're really going to do this, there's nothing I can say to stop you. And if you're not going to do this, nothing that I can say will inspire you. And that feels so real, because people will ask questions like this, like how can I practice my spirituality consistently? And I'm always just like, what else are you doing? Because to me these things are so enjoyable and so satisfying, so fulfilling. It's almost like there's no way that you find time to scroll every day but you're not praying, because scrolling doesn't feel nearly as amazing as praying. Like they're not even close. You have to make the decision that you will no longer allow yourself to be as distracted as you have been, that you will not keep playing the role of nice girl and allow everyone and all the problems they come with to continue to get in the way of the work you want to do. You really have to find a way to go into practice and to stop talking so much about the thing you're going to do, and find a way to do the thing, to take action, to get into practice. Okay. If you have a lot of air placements, I would say especially you want to make sure that you find ways to move beyond the talking ad infinitum, just constantly, endlessly talking about the thing, and find a way to get into the practice of it. Okay. And find a way to put pen to paper, or whatever the practice is for you. Find a way to get into the action of it. And even having endless conversations with people about how do I do it? What's the routine? How do I make myself do the thing? And what should my ritual be? And what's your routine? And how do you get it done? And how? Even that is too much talking. All of these conversations, you could have been halfway done writing the book. All these conversations, and you could have already invested in the equipment. You could have already been a third way through the course. You could have already tried. You could have already started. I think that ultimately it's about training ourselves to find pleasure in practice. And if we can find as much pleasure as some of us find in talking about practice, talking about what we want to do someday, it'd be like, babe, we in our 40s, you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s. Are you waiting to die before you start practicing, or were you going to do that while you still have a body? So how to be consistent. Doing something you actually enjoy should take care of so much of the consistency question. Like, I actually like this practice. I like this project. I like doing this. I like making this work. I like figuring it out. And you'll find that you'll struggle to stop doing the practice, like most people struggle to get off their phones. Like, damn, yeah, I probably should get some sleep. I probably should go lay down. And I think one time someone asked me this question, because it's one of those frequently asked questions people want to know. And let me just say, I don't know how y'all think I'm the expert on being consistent. I am literally a task folk. I talked about this in another episode of this series. I'm a task focused person. I know what needs to be done. I know what I'm intending to do, what I set out to do, and I'm going to do it. I am getting the work done because I know what needs to be done. And I'm not doing a lot of extra stuff outside of the work that I have assigned to myself. I'm not doing a whole bunch of extra stuff unless it fits in and it makes sense with the overall plan, I'm probably not going to be doing it. I don't waste a lot of time. I don't let people like impose on my time or swoop in with random plans, invite me someplace, and now I'm off task, I'm off target. I do allow for a little bit of spontaneity, but again, I like it to make sense. I like it to fit somehow. Like, for example, I found out about the Cosm Theater and I immediately wanted to plan a trip to go and see it. Now, there are a few different locations, and I was looking at the location in Texas and the location in California. And I started to ask one of the girls here that I know if she wanted to come with me, but she's like, I've never seen The Matrix, and she didn't seem interested in the movie. I'm like, I want to go with somebody who is obsessed with theater, with film, with writing, with stories, with cinematography, because the purpose of the trip for me is not only to see one of my all-time favorite movies, 1999, The Matrix, one of my all-time favorite films, but to specifically see it in this Cosm Theater, the way that they present their films, the way that they show their films. And what it is, I'll show you, is kind of a bowl, like you're inside of a dome like structure, and the films are, the screen is about 180 panoramic kind of view, goes all the way up to the ceiling above you. And I chose to do the experience that included a full menu. So whatever the characters eat or foods that they mention, you are eating. So it was like an immersive theater experience. And I ended up asking a friend who is into cinema and cinematography and stories to go with me, and it was a wonderful experience. The reason that I would pause my day job, like the work that I do with Bossy Bruja, the reason I would pause that to then fly 4 hours and stay over there for a day and a half. We stopped in a wonderful bookstore. We went to Ripped Bodice, which is a place I've been wanting to go for 2 years now, since I found out it existed. There was a location in New York, and I just happened to look it up on my phone and found out there's also a location in LA. So while I was out there, we went to the Ripped Bodice because I'm interested in writing romance. I want to go to the romance bookstore. So we went there, and I'm interested in cinematography and film magic. Like, I'm interested in these things. So that's the reason I would fly 4 hours across the country to go and see this. I want to see how they have reimagined a 26-year-old movie that I love. And I'm like, I didn't think I could love this film even more. And I absolutely do love it even more after having the Cosm Theater experience. But even stuff like that, where I actually planned this one. But if somebody had come to me and said, hey, would you like to go to Cosm Theater, see this movie you love, it's going to be an immersive theater experience? Yes, I would, because I am curious to know. Just like I went to go see Sinners in the 70 millimeter, and I think that's what it's 70 millimeter, I think is what it's called. So just like I went to see it on the old film machine over on Prytania, where they were only showing it in this format in a select few theaters around the nation, and Prytania in New Orleans was one of the places where they were showing it. I went to go see it there, and then I went to go see it at the IMAX as well. I was so excited to see the ratio of the frame changing throughout the film. It was beautiful. I wish I could have also gone to, I think 40D is what they call it, where you are again in an immersive theater experience and you're feeling the wind and the blood and the liquids from the film, and the shaking. Your seat is moving during this film experience. But it's because these are my interests. These are things that are aligned with what I want to do and what I'm interested in. And it's taking me in that direction. It's taking me along that path. It's not off the mark for me. It's not off the path for me. It's not out of focus for me. And Yeah, I think about the things that I love and the things I want to do all the time. I try to practice as much as I can. I find the time to practice. I don't make excuses for why I can't practice, because how can I take myself seriously if I'm making excuses? I say I really, really want to do something and then I make every excuse in the book to not do it. How could I do that to myself? The answer is I can't. I would rather tell you why I can't hang out and go drinking with you than to make an excuse to myself about why I can't sit down for an hour or two and just write, you know? So find something you love, create some rituals around it, and make sure you're supported in the work that you do so you don't get burned out. Those are my suggestions. I hope that I hope that helps. I'm about to go to the library so I can write. Peace and blessings.